Hi again, this is Teacher Paul in Vietnam, but when I was in the U.S. I recorded Pastor George Grace. This is the fourth out of 4 in a series of leadership. This one is a familiar topic for me because I remember being at First Bible Baptist Church 35, 40 years ago, and Pastor Grace taught the same thing. The topic is mainly from Stephen Covey's book, 7 Habits of Effective Leaders, very effective leaders. Really good. It's timeless. It'll work. It's still on the bookshelves today. I still saw one in the bookstore here in Saigon. So enjoy.
I just want to, for this session, talk about a book that I read many years ago. I think I read this probably 35 years ago, if it's that old. And the name of the book was The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Now, it was written by a man who was a conservative. I believe he was of the Mormon faith. But the principles that he brought forth in this book were very, very good, solid principles to live your life by. Many of them certainly touched on moral principles in the scriptures, and it's obvious to me in reading his book that he had a good moral upbringing and background from countless, I'll bet you I've taught this 12, 15 times over the years, so I'm very experienced at this lesson. So let me give you the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. Mr. Covey is deceased right now, but this is a classic book. The first habit that he says is principles of personal vision, and if we were to put those in simple words, he says, you gotta be proactive. No one's gonna live your life for you. You've got to live your life. You have to, if you want it, you have to go get it. If you want a job, you have to go apply for it. If you want a college education, you have to register and show up for class. If you want to marry a young lady or whatever, you need to be forward and make your intentions known, even if you get blown out of the water, even if they reject you. But you have to be proactive. You have to decide what's important in life and what you're going to go after as an individual. So when we're talking about leadership, you got to go get it. You've got to go get it. As you're working through the stages of connecting and growing and serving and all that on your way to leadership, you have to have a desire in your heart to get there. He that desire the office of a bishop, he desires a good thing. There's nothing wrong with desiring leadership, but you've got to work for it. You got to go after it. So that's his first. Be proactive. Number 2, he says, begin with the end in mind. You have to have a vision. And let's say it's a college education. You have to almost sit back, close your eyes, and take a picture of you walking across the platform with the head of the institution handing you your document that you have finished the course and you are now qualified to be a graduate of this institution. You have to picture that in your mind, or whatever it is. Maybe you want to be a great athlete. Maybe you want to be a great technician, whatever it is. You need to get some kind of a vision in your mind what you want to be. And that vision can be helped by going to people who are in that field and asking them, what's it like to do what you do? What's it like if you're a financial advisor? What's it like? You're an insurance individual. You're a mechanic. You're a food service operator. What's it like? And then get a vision in your mind for what you want to do. I have several nurses in my family. Some of them had a vision to be a nurse. Some of them tried it, and the first time someone pooped their pants, that was the end of their career in nursing, whatever. But you got to have a vision in mind. Thirdly, put first things first. You have to prioritize. When I was working on a daily basis as the senior pastor of our church, I would make lists. I still make lists today, but I'd make a list of all the things that I had to do that day. And the things that I didn't like doing were the things that I had to put at the top of the list. Not the things that I liked doing. They were easy and they were fun to do. But I had to do the hard things at the top of the list and get them out of the way. And then it made my day easier as the day went on. But when I had energy and I had enthusiasm, I tackled the number one things on my list that were most important to get them off that list because they had to be done first or they would never get done. So, prioritizing your life is part of good leadership. The fourth, that's the third habit. The fourth habit is principles of what he calls interpersonal leadership. You have to be a negotiator. As a leader, you're going to deal with people. Not everybody sees what you see. Not everybody has the experience that you have. Not everyone has the vision that you as the leader have for the next step or for the future. So you're going to encounter people constantly who have a different idea of what your job as the leader should be. So you're going to have resistance. You're going to have to learn to talk through that resistance and negotiate with people. Sometimes, I do this with my wife. I negotiate with my wife. This is how. My wife likes to go on vacation and she wants to go to an amusement park somewhere where there's a minimum of 10,000 people, okay? I like to go to a desert island where no one lives with a glass of lemonade in a swimming pool and no one bother me all day long. Now, how do we resolve that? This is how we resolve it. When we go on vacation, we go half of our vacation to the amusement park. The other half, we go to the desert island, so we both get something. That's what thinking win-win is. The leader doesn't always have to have it his way. If you're going to get along with people, you have to show deference to other people and their ideas, that they have some value to them. So, that's principles of interpersonal leadership, thinking win-win. The fifth habit, he says, seek first to understand, then to be understood. If you've ever been in a heated conversation with someone that you disagree with, you want to get your point across. You want to tell the other person why you're right and probably why they are wrong. Now, what do we need to do? Before you comment on another person's opinion, you need to make sure that you understand what they said. Because sometimes when we just keep talking, we talk over the other person. We're not listening to what they have to say. Maybe they're saying something that's worthwhile, but you can't hear them while you're talking. You can't talk and listen at the same time. So seek first to understand. Leaders say to the worker that's working under them, tell me what your problem is. Tell me why you can't do your job. Tell me the problems that you are facing so I can think about how I can help you. That's how a leader deals with somebody. You don't say, you're stupid, you're dumb, I hired you to do this, you can't do it, you're fired, I'll find somebody else to do it. That's not how leaders work. Seek to understand what their problem is. Then, once you've heard it, repeat it back to them and say, from what you have just said, this is what I think your problem is. And then you state their problem back to them. Is that correct? Yeah, that's right. You understand what I said. Good. Then this is what I think about what you said. Now you've got the facts. You have listened to the other individual. Now you can tell them what you think, what you believe, and you can take the next step and say, this is what I want you to do. Okay, do you agree? Then we agree to that and we move on to our next problems in life. That's what leaders are doing all the time. They're dealing with obstacles, problems. You're jumping over the barrier. You're jumping through the hoops. And you're doing that not only for yourself, but for all the people that work for you. That's your job. You're helping them to overcome the obstacles that they are facing in doing the job that you've asked them to do. You're the leader. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Number 6. Number 6 is principles of creative cooperation. This just follows in the last thing. Synergize is a big English word that means we've got to learn to work together to get the most out of both of our inputs. So that's what we're doing now. Leaders are looking for talented people that can help them. I'm not the most talented person. I may be able to get talented people to work with me for my project, but that doesn't mean I'm the most talented. I may not be the technician. I may not be the mechanic. I may not be the human resource person. I may not be the delivery boy, but I get all these people together and I see their skills and what they can do, and we come up with a plan to work together to get the job done. That's what synergy is all about. 1 + 1 = 3, or 2 + 2 = 6. You get more out of working together with people than you do working all by yourself. I don't know if this has ever happened to you. It's happened to me, where you're trying to come up with an idea and you're just sitting there with a blank look on your face saying, I can't think of anything to do. I don't know what I should do now. But you come to somebody who's got a little experience, you tell them your problem, and all of a sudden a conversation opens up and you can see your way to a conclusion or to a solution to the problem. The last thing is sharpen your saw. Sharpen your saw. And he keeps this to the end because too many of us are more inclined to sharpen our saw before anything else. What does he mean by that? He means you can cut trees down faster with a sharp saw than with a dull saw, okay? Your saw needs to be sharpened. When you sharpen your saw, you shut the saw off. It's not cutting anything. You take it to some place and you sharpen the blade so that when you come back, you can get more out of it. The analogy is simply this. You need to rest. You need to go to sleep once in a while. You need to have a day off. There's a Sabbath day in the Bible. That's not an accident. That was on purpose. God rested on the seventh day, not because he was tired, but because we all need time away from what we do to get sharp, so when we come back, we can do more, we can do better, we're sharper with our thinking to get the job done. Those are the 7 habits of highly effective people by Stephen Covey. He wrote this book in 1989. God bless. My name's Pastor George Grace. I am one of the pastors at First Bible Baptist Church in Rochester, New York. And our church is sponsoring these presentations here. And we're thankful to you for watching. But if you're ever in the area, we're in Hilton, Greece, New York, 14468. If you're ever in that area, we invite you to come to church. We meet on Sunday mornings at 8:35, 10:35. We have a midweek service. We have all kinds of opportunities. Bible Institute, Christian school, sports park. We have many things, many places that people can get involved. I want to invite you to come. If you're in the area, please stop by.